The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
Hello, brothers of Delta Kappa Alpha. You may be wondering where I am. I am here in the lighthouse, also called my bedroom at my childhood home in Buffalo Grove, Illinois. And I am here back for a few special winter break editions of Industry Education Roundup. So, how about we just cut right to the chase so this doesn't have to be 16 minutes of wasteful time. Will the Berlin International Film Festival be delayed this year? Organizers hope that it won't be. However, with the recent spread of the Omicron variant of the coronavirus, there is a possible contingency plan that might delay the festival. Traditionally, the festival is held in February or March of every year. However, last year it was deemed to be virtual because of the Delta variant spreading around. And I believe in 2020, they made the cutoff before any coronavirus even was spread around the world in a pandemic. The local government in Berlin has now slashed the capacity rate for any theater and basically any indoor place to be at 50%. So 50% of people would have to be, or 50% of the usual crowd will be at Berlin. Maybe it will be pushed back to June? Who knows? Berlin did say that despite having competition with the Cannes Film Festival in June, they are not in the same league when it comes towards who is attending the events. Cannes is very much more for the elite, more for, the people that can afford $2,500 plane tickets to France. Whereas Berlin has always been more about the public and being more eco-friendly when it comes to having many different facets of life come together and watch movies. There hasn't been a slate announced yet. However, the rumors is that Claire Denis' upcoming movie Fire will be on there. If you are a fan of strippers, or male strippers, or you just like 21 Jump Street a little too much, then you'll be glad to hear that Magic Mike 3 has been confirmed to be currently in the works. Steven Soderbergh, the original director of the first Magic Mike film, is back on to direct, Channing Tatum reprising his role as Mike Lane, and Reed Carolyn writing the script. It is the third and final installment of what is supposed to be a trilogy of Magic Mike films, and also part of a franchise that I did not even know was a franchise to begin with. In 2017, the popularity of Magic Mike became so big that they launched a stage show in Las Vegas and has since expanded to around the world. And now there's an upcoming reality show on HBO Max titled Finding Magic Mike. This is not a joke, people. There is literally a show, a new reality show, about finding a new male stripper. More updates come from New Mexico when it comes to the investigation into the fatal shooting of cinematographer Helena Hutchins on the set of the indie film Rust that killed her and mortally wounded writer-director Joel Souza. In a seemingly stunning turn of events, not really stunning, every celebrity does it, Alec Baldwin gave an interview to co-star of The War Room and Democratic policy strategist turned journalist turned how did he get a career in journalism in the first place. He was literally in the inside of the Clinton campaign, George Stephanopoulos on ABC, where he basically said, I didn't do anything wrong. Gee, Alec, you could have said it wasn't me before you get anywhere with that defense. He said he's not worried about criminal charges. However, the Attorney General of New Mexico, Santa Fe, I believe, said he might still be charged with criminal culpability. Listen, I think he's already been charged with criminal culpability when he starred in a Woody Allen movie. Okay? I hope you laugh at that one. While Jake Gyllenhaal has been getting dragged in the mud for the past few weeks, his sister Maggie Gyllenhaal had a pretty good week for herself as her debut feature film The Lost Daughter won 4 awards at the Gotham Awards last Monday. Gyllenhaal herself won 3, one for Best Feature, Best Screenplay and the Breakthrough Director Award, and her leading star Olivia Colman tied for Outstanding Lead Performance with Frankie Faison for The Killing of Kenneth Chamberlain. Sundance winner Coda won 2 awards, both of them for performances. Troy Kotsur won for Outstanding Supporting Performance, and Lead Emilia Jones won for Best Breakthrough Performance. Taika Waititi's television series on Hulu, Reservation Dogs, took home the Breakthrough Series short format, and there are 2 losers that I identified for the past award ceremony. One, Rebecca Hall's Passing, currently on Netflix, which went an 0 for 5 for all the categories it was nominated in, which included Best Feature, Best Screenplay, both Outstanding Lead and Outstanding Supporting, and Breakthrough Director Awards. Not a good showing for Rebecca Hall and for Tessa Thompson and Ruth Negga, the stars of Passing. Maybe it probably will not do as well at the Independent Spirit Awards. Who knows? And then the other big loser, any television show that's not Squid Game. Now, maybe this is not an indictment on Squid Game itself. It's still a very good show. And it did win Breakthrough Series long format at the Gotham Awards. However, when you look at the competition it went up against, HBO's The White Lotus, Steve McQueen's Small Axe, and Barry Jenkins' The Underground Railroad, it's hard to wonder whether the voting had to do with who was the best, or whether there was any recency bias to it. Some critics have argued that The Underground Railroad, or even Small Axe, is light years better than Squid Game. But who knows? We will see at the Independent Spirit Awards when it comes towards who is truly the best. Because the Gotham Awards have always been, the second tier. Kind of like the Golden Globes to the Oscars. But this is not an indictment on Squid Game. Not at all. Great show. A great show for our time. Nothing against it. It's just whether the voting probably was a bit biased. The National Board of Review released their winners for the 2021 calendar year of film, even though it's kind of wrong this year because Minari came out and that's kind of part of 2020, and it's a bit out of whack. But think of it as like best films that are currently in Oscar contention. Put it that way. Paul Thomas Anderson's Licorice Pizza won Best Film of 2021, despite currently being in limited release, only available at select theaters in Los Angeles and New York. It will not be in wide release until Christmas Day. Paul Thomas Anderson also won Best Director for Licorice Pizza, and his 2 leading stars, youngest sister of the band Haim, Alana Haim, and the son of my all-time favorite actor, the late great Philip Seymour Hoffman, Cooper Hoffman, were awarded Breakthrough Performers by the National Board of Review. Who are the other big winners? Well, rounding out the top 10 of the best films of 2021 include Belfast, Don't Look Up, Dune, King Richard, The Last Duel, Nightmare Alley, Red Rocket, Tragedy of Macbeth, and West Side Story. 2 notable admissions, Maggie Gyllenhaal's The Lost Daughter, and Jane Campion's The Power of the Dog, both directed by women, whereas the rest of the top 10 are all directed by men. Specifically, 9 out of the 10 by white men. King Richard's the only one, Ronaldo Marcus Green. He is awesome, he is cool. Do not give him any slander. Don't give PTA slander either, okay? He's awesome. He's pretty cool. He's married to Maya Rudolph. How can you not love him? Speaking of King Richard, Will Smith won the Best Actor Award as his performance as Richard Williams. And then, new first-time actor. We'll say actor. Gender neutral here, okay? DKA loves gender neutral. First-time actor Rachel Zegler for West Side Story won Best Actress. Joel Cohen, in his first directorial feature without his brother Ethan, won Best Adapted Screenplay for The Tragedy of Macbeth. And in a surprise win, Iranian director Asghar Farhadi won Best Original Screenplay for A Hero. Yes, that is a movie. It's called A Hero. I don't make the rules, okay? But speaking of a few of those movies, some of them are coming out this weekend. So, why not talk about them?
When you're a jet, you're a jet.
Steven Spielberg is back after 2018's Ready Player One he's decided to tackle a musical for the first time, especially a remake of a musical that already had a movie, West Side Story. He's collaborating once again with screenwriter-playwright Tony Kushner, the mind behind Angels of America, and wrote Spielberg's scripts for Munich and Lincoln, both of which garnered Oscar nomination for Best Adapted Screenplay. Spielberg is looking to revamp the West Side Story by adding a faithfulness to the work and also being culturally correct about it. The problem was in 1961 with the original version from Robert Wise, it had white people act as Hispanics, and that doesn't really fly nowadays, especially on its 60th anniversary since when it came out. So Spielberg decided to tackle it himself, collaborating with once again his usual cinematographer Janusz Kaminski, and so far, reviews have been outstanding. Praise has gone towards his direction, the screenplay, the cast performances, including Rachel Zegler, and a new redemption arc for actor Ansel Elgort, and Rita Moreno, who starred in the original West Side Story. And how good is it? Critics are claiming it's better than the original. Take that as you will. However, I would expect this to get a lot of Oscar nominations when it comes out. Oh, and it blew In the Heights out of the water. One of the few directors that is able to garner any critical acclaim from dramatists and comedy writers for his fusion of of real-world ideals with comedy and drama, Adam McKay, director and writer of The Big Short, Vice, Anchorman, Talladega Nights. The man could do it all, but he's back. This time with a movie tackling and satirizing the climate change crisis with Netflix's Don't Look Up. Just one look at the cast and you believe this is going to get a lot of attention from people. It is an ensemble cast led by Leo DiCaprio right here, and the return of my original heartthrob before Anya Taylor-Joy stole at my heart, Jennifer Lawrence. Who else is in the cast? Turk from Daredevil, Jonah Hill, Mark Rylance, Medea, Timmy Turner, Hellboy, Kat from Victorious, one half of Kids See Ghosts, Cate Blanchett, Meryl Streep, Himesh Patel, Chandler from Friends, Stevie Rogers, Gina Gershon, Michael Chiklis, and Captain Brass from CSI. That's one stacked cast. It will be on Netflix. I can't remember if it will be released in theaters. It will, yes. Limited theatrical release before it is on Netflix. The King of the Walk and Talk, Aaron Sorkin, writer behind A Few Good Men, The American President, creator of The West Wing, The Newsroom, Charlie Wilson, and also wrote Charlie Wilson's War, The Social Network, Moneyball, Steve Jobs, and wrote and directed Molly's Game and last year's Travel to Chicago 7. Speed ran a movie in a whole year. His latest effort is a biopic about the co-creators and co-stars of the hit television series from the 1950s I Love Lucy, titled Being the Ricardos. Javier Bardem will star as Desi Arnaz, and Nicole Kidman will star as Lucille Ball. Their co-stars will be J.K. Simmons as William Frawley and Nina Arianda as Vivian Vance, who were the supporting players on I Love Lucy. And Tony Hale will play Jess Oppenheimer, who was the producer and head writer on I Love Lucy. And Alia Shawkat will portray Madeline Pugh, who was one of the first female writers in television and worked on I Love Lucy. Now, this film is not without some controversy, however, following in its path. The casting of Kidman as Lucille Ball has garnered some backlash because Kidman does not look like Lucille Ball at all, even though Lucille, Mrs. Ball, and Desi Arnaz's daughter, Lucy Arnaz, defended her casting. Not to mention that also they canceled shooting at the famed hotel Chateau Marmont after allegations of discrimination and harassment were found amongst the employees and bosses at the hotel. And so thus, Sorkin pulled production from there. A good part on him, I will say. But Don't tell Graham Reed that I said that, though. God, I hate neoliberalism. The movie will have a limited release, and then it will be on Prime Video in the future, because it is from Amazon Studios. This is Andy Dalton, quarterback for the Chicago Bears. That's not Justin Fields. And why is he not Justin Fields? Well, it's because his nickname is the Red Rifle, which kind of ties into A, hashtag Fire Nagy, and B, the next film on my slate, Sean Baker's Red Rocket. That's right, Sean Baker, writer-director behind Indie Darlings, Tangerine, and The Florida Project, is reteaming with A24 for his $1 million movie, starring Simon Rex as a washed-up porn star who returns to his hometown in Texas. And that's right, I did say this was filmed on a $1 million budget, and this is A24. They have more than $1 million. The production behind Red Rocket is so intriguing that I have to share with you what Baker went through during this production. First off, he did not know Simon Rex personally. However, he chose him for the lead role because Simon Rex, before he became a model, an MTV VJ, an actor and whatnot, starred in solo masturbation videos for a gay porn company, which piqued Baker's interest since the movie is about a porn actor. So, Baker cold called Rex and told him to send an audition tape to Baker's iPhone and gave him only 5 minutes to prepare. Rex passed it, and then passed the audition, and then Baker told him, please drive from California to Texas in 3 days' time, so you A, won't have to quarantine after taking a flight, and B, so we can get right to shooting because there's no other actors on this movie. By actors, I mean professional actors. Simon Rex was the only professional actor on the set. Baker and crew filmed in secret during the fall, during the height of the pandemic, in Texas no less. And the crew only consisted of 10 people. That's it, a 10-person crew for $1 million. Unbelievable. This has to be one of the best indie productions to ever go through. I mean, I'm sorry, it's like 11 o'clock at night. I kind of get a bit loopy when it gets this late. Baker shot on 16mm film, had no rehearsals with Rex or any of the actors, and then most of the budget was personally contacting the members of the boy band NSYNC to get permission from all of them to use their hit song Bye 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 in the movie. Now, clearly, this has paid off, as Red Rocket was screened at the Cannes Film Festival, and based on Baker's expertise and length and notoriety, will definitely break even. I'm calling it now. Maybe its taboo subject won't give critics any attention when it comes to Oscar nominations, or any award for that matter, but I would expect it to be highly nominated at the Independent Spirit Awards and should be deserving of a Best Original Screenplay nom for Baker and co-writer Chris Burgok, or Burgoch, whatever his name is, and for Simon Rex for Best Actor. And maybe Sean Baker for Best Director. He's damn good. If you like more of his stuff, check out Greg the Bunny. That was on television a few years ago. So he had a hand in that. So, you know, Fire Nagy. And now for our final segment, Top 3, where once again I pick a theme and I find 3 stories that all are connected to that theme. The heirs of Aldo Gucci issued a statement saying that they are a bit disconcerted about what they claim is their inaccurate portrayal in the recent movie from Ridley Scott and starring Lady Gaga, Adam Driver, and Jared Leto, and Al Pacino, House of Gucci. The statement blasts how Milani's socialite, Patrizia Reggiani, who was Lady Gaga in the film, was convicted in 1998 of facilitating the murder of Maurizio Gucci, which is Adam Driver. The Gucci family claims that it is portrayed not just in the film, but also in statements from cast members as a victim trying to survive in a male chauvinist corporate culture. Now, obviously, their claim, maybe not obviously, that's the wrong word, I take that word back. Surprisingly, to the casual reader, this statement actually has some grounded bearings to it. Gucci did, in the 1980s, several women did hold top positions within the company compared to any other company during the 1980s when, Reagan, Thatcher, cocaine, Miami Vice, the usual. Fuck, what was I gonna say? Oh, I'm so tired. They also claim that the production of the film did not bother to consult the heirs before describing, although Gucci, who was president of the company for 30 years, and the members of Gucci family as thugs, ignorant and insensitive to the world around them. It added that the pic attributes a tone and an attitude to the protagonists of the well-known events that never belonged to them. However, no legal action will be taken at this time by the Gucci family against
Scott-Free Productions. I fucked up the audio.
and Universal Pictures. So it'll be interesting to see where this ends up. Maybe if Lady Gaga winning Best Actress at the Oscars or any award ceremony will cause some more stirring of the pot when it comes to the Gucci family. But also, don't you want to sue Lil Pump first for just stealing your song or your name without your permission? Whatever. Next. An Italian man raised eyebrows this week and made global headlines when he tried to fool a vaccination center in northern Italy into administering him a vaccine for the coronavirus into a prosthetic arm. That's right. A prosthetic arm. Putting a needle in a plastic arm. These people, man. The man apparently hoped to receive a COVID-19 health certificate, which grants freedoms in Italy for the vaccinated, ahead of restrictions coming into force on Monday due to the rise, or not the rise, but the spread of the Omicron variant. The incident took place in the town of Biella, an area not far from Turin and Milan in northern Italy. And the president of the Piedmont region, Alberto Cirio, explained in a Facebook post, of all things, on Friday, how the unnamed individual tried to deceive the health workers and was ultimately caught. And I guess the fake arm looked very similar to a real skin. Is this dude Bill from Silence of the Lambs, where he just get vaccinated, people. It's not very hard. It's like a flu shot. They just like that. Get vaccinated, people. And finally, anchor on CNN, Chris Cuomo, brother of former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, has been fired from his post, effective immediately. For two things, I think. I definitely know that there is an ongoing investigation into whether he helped his brother, former Governor Cuomo, into defending and releasing statements into sexual misconduct and harassment allegations against him. And now I think he's fired of his own sexual misconduct allegation against him. Man, these Cuomo brothers just are... You gobble your last gold, Cuomo. I don't even know what to think by this point. CNN can just shove off. Maybe this kid gives me a better way to phrase it.
The Italians don't claim that kid Cuomo. We don't fuck with him. We don't fuck with that kid Cuomo. Get the fuck out of here. We got Trump and the fucking Silky on Union Square.
And finally, a note on a man we dearly lost a few weeks ago. Not a few weeks ago, but about a week ago. Stephen Sondheim, the greatest American composer and lyricist of Broadway theater of the 20th century, passed away at the age of 91 in late November. Sondheim reinvented the American musical and tackled unexpected themes that range far beyond traditional Broadway theater and their subjects. His music and lyrics featured impressive an unprecedented complexity and sophistication that range both from the light to the dark, to the harrowing elements of the human experience, to the brighter side of life, and the joys and pitfalls that come with it. My first encounter with Sondheim was seeing a live performance of A Funny Thing That Happened on the Way to the Forum, from my esteemed colleague, director Lauren Rawitz, at the Metropolis Theater in Arlington Heights, down Arlington Heights Road. And I was extremely impressed with how the book was written. And even though he didn't write the book, it worked well with the music and lyrics that Sondheim wrote. It was a marrying of sorts, something that I couldn't put my finger on. And even though I haven't encountered any live shows of his since, I did perform as the Big Bad Wolf in Atticus Junior High's performance of Into the Woods. That's probably the closest I ever got to Sondheim. However, he took inspiration from anywhere and everywhere. Whether that be A Folk Tale of Sweeney Todd, fairy tales from Into the Woods, a painting at the Art Institute with Sunday in the Park with George, a play with Merrily We Roll Along, or just his own experiences or the experiences of his peers with Company. Sondheim always had a passion for film as well. In fact, his work in both theater and film is interconnected, as he did write songs for Warren Beatty's Reds in 1981, wrote 5 songs for 1990's Dick Tracy, and including the song Sooner or Later, which is sung by Madonna and won the Academy Award for Best Original Song. Sometimes I will blast Sondheim when I need to listen to Broadway theater, but I want it to be a bit more adult than childish, and a bit more intellectual than brain dead. And also, I found a touching note from Sondheim that he wrote a letter to South Park co-creator Trey Parker back in 2005 that he voted Team America World Police for Best Picture that year. Which I think shows all you need to know about Sondheim's sense of humor, his understanding of art, and how life and art is inseparable to each other. So on that note, Mr. Sondheim, we'll see you at the theater sooner rather than later. And here is a final clip from Mr. Sondheim.
I gotta go.
Okay, hold a moment.
I gotta go.
I said hold a moment, please.
Benedict, I've been here for 12 hours. Let me just remind you, I was supposed to sing at the beginning. I was denied that opportunity again and again. Now I have to go. So let's just do this, and I'll try to do my best.
The whole thing is flaccid. It lacks a buoyancy that you...
I agree. Patty, once more from the top, please.
I gotta go.